All right, Gene.
Yo.
So for Christmas, I got this 2 box set of Paul McCartney lyrics. It's called the book is just him kind of talking through the lyrics from Beatles and Wings and his solo stuff and his stuff with Lennon and all this stuff. I grew up a Lennon fan. Like it was just like Michael or Prince, right? You either ended up
Okay.
and granted, I was at the tail end of that,
Right.
but you were either John Lennon or you were Paul McCartney. Like you had to pick a side,
True.
and I was on the Lennon side, right?
Good side.
I may have overlooked Paul.
Oh, you're saying okay.
I may have. I'm like now reading. Like I knew John had a song called "How Do You Sleep at Night," and the subtitle is a letter to Paul.
Mm.
And the lyrics are things like "The only thing you ever done was yesterday," and now we see that's just another day,
Yeah.
right? But what I didn't know is that Paul had a song called "Another Day," and it was kind of a letter to John that
Wow.
just said, "Are you okay, man? Like, why are you so mad at me?" So it's funny now, and you see that. I mean, Paul's a billionaire.
Right.
He's got all this stuff. Man, there's so much angst still. And why did it have to go down like that?
I
It's
know.
crazy. So anyway, I'm giving Paul a shot. I'm going back, and some songs that I thought were Beatles songs, like "Baby I'm Amazed,"
Ah,
is actually a McCartney song.
right. Well,
So
yeah, it's debatable.
I mean, Lennon is still much
Yeah.
better. Don't get me
Right.
wrong.
Right. All right, man. On with the show.
What? I just had to get that out.
That's good. Good story. Although I will say, what is a Beatles song if not a Paul McCartney or a Lennon or a Beatles song? It's kind of all the same, isn't it?
Well, it's the two of them, right? I mean, that's the thing. It gets to teamwork, and it's so funny because, like, I didn't know who had which idea for what song,
Right.
who was collaborating and who was creating, right?
Right.
Which you know is kind of a weird line,
Well,
but then you get in and you find out that "Baby You Can Drive My Car" originally it was "You can buy me golden rings, you can buy me everything, and maybe I'll love you," instead of "You can drive my car, babe, yes, I'm going to be a star." And so then, and he's right, and he's like, "Yeah, we'd already done Diamond Ring in the other song, and who likes golden rings? That's kind of crappy." And then I lost my license because I was driving too fast, and it just all came together. And I'm like, okay,
hey,
I wanted a little more, but that's
collaboration.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
collaboration.
Gene, are we going to talk about the thing that happened?
I don't know. You tell me what happened.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling better.
From what? What happened?
I don't even want to mention the thing that shall not be named.
It's not. I have to say, I have fewer friends that haven't gotten it now than friends who have.
Right. Yeah.
The two.
Yes. Yeah, it's weird. Like everyone I know, like right now, has COVID or has had it.
COVID.
I actually hate the word. I'm getting to the point where I can't stand just thinking about it or talking about it.
I'll catch super hell for this. Like super hell.
Super hell, not just regular hell.
Well, but it's at that point where I'm surprised when people haven't gotten it.
Yeah. Well, I've made it 2 years and nothing. Like I was kind of starting to feel a little invincible, to be honest with you.
I got it last summer, and it was one of those situations where I had been home for probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I hadn't seen anybody except my family, and maybe I walked by somebody on the sidewalk.
Right.
And boom, I caught it. So I mean, it's just crazy because you know this, and it was in the newsletter last week. Now it's coming in so hot and heavy.
Coming in hot, baby.
And everybody's like, we're in the middle of a surge, and it's true.
It's a thing.
But everybody's acting different about it now.
Mm-hmm.
That first time around, you had people who were like on board or thought it was a hoax. And there were, and seriously, like that first time around, you were like, oh shit.
It's not real.
What
Why
Stephen
do I
King wrote
feel
about.
like shit?
This is what Last Man on Earth was about. This
Right.
is what, this is
Yeah.
all those things. And then you had people who were like, "Well, really?"
Yeah.
And even those people are like, "Oh, no, it's real, but you should drink your own urine. That's the way to get through
That's
it." I know, or horse, whatever. I don't know what they're doing, but now they're just like, "Oh no, COVID's real, but the vaccine is okay."
yeah.
But
I mean, that's a whole.
this time around, it's very much your people, and this is in the community, who are like, "Well, it's not going away.
No.
We have to continue on with whatever we're going to do."
Mm-hmm.
And then you have people who, and not only is it's not just a choice that you make. Some people are immunocompromised. Some people have young
Right.
kids who can't
Right.
get the vaccine. And then there are some people who are just like, and I've spoken with people on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are like, we just need to wait until it's gone.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going away, or
I
do you
don't.
think it becomes another flu? Not that it's like the flu now. I'm just saying that
Well,
eventually it's like you get another flu shot, you get a COVID shot.
The strain I had, I don't. They didn't tell me which one it was, but whatever. I was not that sick. Like,
Did you check the receipt? Normally they put it on the receipt, just like your server.
It was probably like 12 hours. Like, I woke up and I felt like, you know how you wake up and you just like your body, you're like trying to get out of bed and you're like, oh, this is not going to be a good day. I think I'm sick. And I slept most of the day, and by that night, like, I was feeling better, and the next day I was feeling much better. I don't know if that's because I was vaccinated or whatever, or the strain. I don't care. And then everybody else in the house got it. And the thing is, that was after a few people had told me at the gym, because I'm coaching classes at the gym. I teach martial arts, so I'm in front of 15 people, 10 people at a time. And this was after some people said, yeah, I was exposed, my kids had it or whatever. Like, okay. And so then I had it, and then another coach at the gym had it, and I was like, look, we're just going to close the gym for a week. Hopefully this will, like, here in our little micro community, like, burn it out or whatever. And that's what we did. We were back yesterday morning, and to like half people.
And how did everybody respond when you said we're going to close the gym for a week?
So here's the thing. I was super freaked out. I was like, oh shit, because what was it? 2 years ago, we had to close the gym for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And like, because our landlord was super cool, we didn't go out of business, like it was bad. So I was like, oh fuck, we can't, it's no way we're going to survive another, because we, before we had almost 100 members, we came back, we had like 30, and I'm not kidding. I've slowly built it up to, we're about, 65 now. And so, we're paying our bills, and I was like, oh shit. But I'll tell you what, I just made a message and I said, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to close, from Monday to Friday. We'll be back open Monday, MLK Day. I know a lot of you on vacation. We're going to open back up. We just want to be careful. We want to be safe. This thing's super hot. It's spreading everywhere, and we don't want to have to close for a long period of time. So that's why we're doing it. And please, if you've been around someone, you've been exposed, let us know. If you're sick, let us know, whatever. And they were like, thanks for looking out for us. They were like, that's awesome. We appreciate it. We understand. We know this is a heavy toll on you. We appreciate it. So I think in the long run, it's really helped us look like we were taking care of people, Yeah, I mean, it was done with the best intentions.
It doesn't look like you are.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
And this helps it look like
we're
kind of taking it seriously.
I'll be honest with you. I was more scared about the business going out of business than I was caring about people.
Well,
I mean, in the short term, I'm just being honest, man.
I love that honesty.
You got to be honest.
And I want to tell you that I do not feel the same way. I care more about the people, but it doesn't make you a bad person.
Hey, half of your people are virtual, man. Come on.
They're real. It's not. They're not Sims. There's not like a Bureau of Digital Sims pack.
Are you gonna go into the Bureau metaverse?
Oh You mean back into it,
Go
or
back into it.
I mean, come on. I want to say this is kind of funny though. It's like some people know my mom's in rehab right now. She's been in the
Yeah.
hospital she's been in there since before Christmas. It's been like and I'm technically on leave from the bureau, but there's certain things that I need, like this podcast, I need. But what's hilarious to me is when I go to check in when she's in the hospital, the proper hospital, I walk in and they literally say, "Are you feeling okay?" And you say yes, and they hand you a tag that says screen. They don't even check your temperature.
Well, it doesn't matter.
They don't even check your temperature. Then you go into the rehab hospital, and these are both really well-respected institutions in Florida. But you go into the rehab hospital, and I literally do this. 135, Carl Smith, COVID answers no, 98.7. And they just go, thank you. And then I grab the badge myself. They don't even hand it to me. It's just right there. A couple of days, I just kept the same badge on and walked back in. Nobody gives a shit. And I get emails every other day. Hey, these staff members came down with COVID, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no shit.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Are you going to go see your mom if you're feeling bad? Like if you have a fever, are you going to slide in there and visit your mom?
No, but I feel like I have a fever all the time. I'm hot-blooded, Gene. Check it and see.
I feel like shit all the time. No, I mean that's sort of like the message we gave our members at the gym was we respect you as informed adults. Please act accordingly, right?
Yeah.
Because I think they got the memo because since we've opened up, I got 4 or 5 messages like, "Hey, Friday, you won't see me for a week. Friday, I was exposed. My kids got it. I'll come back if I don't have symptoms or I get a negative test on Friday or Monday or whatever." So I think they've gotten the memo. I think they know like to be responsible, right? And I think a lot of it comes down to like just being responsible. Like because you know you can spread the thing before you even have symptoms, right? You can transmit it, not have a fever, and not feel like shit. Like 2 days before, you can spread it.
I've been keeping it to myself, and I feel bad. I could have been sharing this a lot sooner.
Right. You can preemptively feel bad. But like that's the thing. So it's like you don't know. You don't. I mean, it doesn't. And I'll tell you this too. I got a COVID rapid test Monday. I still haven't gotten those results back.
Wow.
But I mean, I took one like later, like Friday, and I got them back like within 30 minutes. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, actually, it's almost like food trucks now. You can drive around and find the pop-up COVID test trucks. I think it's kind of that level of value for the person giving the test. But so I want to. So with the gym, you have people that are constantly coming, right? Like that's the whole point is that you come 2 or 3 days a week and blah blah.
Yep.
Now you look at a business like the Bureau, right?
Yeah.
And you start to think, and when I say business, I mean really the business side, right? Like what is it that keeps the business around, the Bureau around? And it is membership is number one. Now that didn't exist before COVID round one. Right? Like we've talked about this. Like when COVID hit, people want memberships to keep the Bureau afloat. And thank you all. Right? Because that means this round, COVID round 2, like we're able to be a lot smarter about it. And we can take some losses. We can take some lumps, and it's not going to be as big of a deal. Whereas last year, a $70,000 loss one month, and you're like going, what? I don't have that. Yeah. You know what? It's like when you're in a plane and they say, hey, we just lost 30,000 feet on that bump. And you're like, how many more times can we do that? That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this time around, and the other thing is you've got people who are going to call you and say, hey, or email, whatever, I'm going to be out for a week, but then I'll be back. We have people who are spending a significant amount of money to go be somewhere for 4 days, and they're doing it months in advance. And then they find out right before, or they decide right before, this is not a fit for me. Or I've got a little kid, or I'm worried I got to be around my elderly folks or whatever. So it's totally different. And things that we did were, first of all, with every event venue now, I think everyone accepted this clause. We have a clause in there that if anybody cancels within 30 days of the event, not before 30 days, but within 30 days for COVID reasons, the venue can't charge us for that individual.
Can I cancel after the event?
You can cancel during. We've had that happen a couple of times.
I have too, actually.
Now, the thing is, we also know, though, that we can't necessarily just resell that ticket.
Right. No.
Right? And so now, if you look at it, it puts you in this weird place, right? Mm-hmm. Now, not all the venues have that. I know that the upcoming event we've got in Palm Springs, I think, does. But what that means is we've basically done it where we will refund 25%. Or no, we'll give a credit for 75%, but 25% goes against the cost of the event. Yeah. And the thing is, everybody has been really gracious about this. They think it's great. And it's also in the terms, like when you sign up. So like, this is something that happened after round one where we were like, we can't just give people money
carte
back.
Blanche. Yeah. You can't.
And the thing was, the first time around, nobody expected COVID. So yeah. You're like, okay, no matter what, get the money back. This time you knew COVID was there. We thought it was going away over the summer.
Right. It kind of did.
But so it's tough because I serve the community. Mm-hmm. That's my whole job. But to serve the community, we have to be here.
Well, yeah.
I thought Carl was serving the community. Yeah, that was until his power got turned off. Yep. So it's like this weird thing, but then the thing that I think is great is we made a plan in 2020 about what we would do if another pandemic showed up. We didn't know it'd be the same one. And basically it was this talk show model. Mm-hmm. And we would, for the people who want to be in person, that part of the community, we have, I think it's 50 seats. So you will be the studio audience. And then we invest, which we did, in a streaming service. And there's, luckily we have somebody in the community. One of the members, Cameron, runs, I'm going to get it wrong. I'm not even going to guess the name of the company, but AVD3. Anyway, he basically, we're investing with him. He's bringing people and equipment. There's a lot of out-of-pocket costs, right, to do this. Yeah. And we're going to put on the best streaming we can. We're not just going to, one of my favorite things when we were talking is he goes, well, you got to figure out your budget. I mean, if you just want to strap on a GoPro and run around with an iPad, we can do that. And I was like,
we sell some tickets.
Sounds kind of cool. Actually, just running around going, hey. I don't know how long people would watch online, or if you can ask $500 for that ticket.
I'd watch the whole thing.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would. That's why I find those drop cams in my house all the time, and they've got like that whole Gene logo on them, which I don't understand.
You shouldn't have found those.
Your own logo. But so anyway, yeah. So that to me, it's an experiment. We're going to see how it goes next month. I mean, if people don't buy that streaming ticket, I don't think we'll do it again.
Nope.
It's going to be a thing. But then for camps, and we may do this for summits as well. You know, we talked for a while about this idea of a crowdfunded or a kickstarted model, where it's like, until we get enough deposits, the event's not green lighted. So if you want to go to a camp that's going to happen in 3 months, put down your deposit. Deposit's 10%.
Yeah.
If the event doesn't happen in person, it switches to online. And we just go with that. So I don't know what else to do because they're going to be surges.
Yep.
And I've talked to other event coordinators. Some people are, and the event organizers are the same kind of as the community where there are definitely people in the middle, but a lot of them are like, well, I thought we'd be able to do in-person events again in 2022. Check back with me in 2023.
Yeah.
I seem to think that it's a full year cycle.
I don't think so.
We got to get back.
Yeah. I mean, yes, there are definitely people that aren't going to have any of it, right? Like, and I had members at the gym. We have members at SoCo. They're not going to have any of it. Like, they don't want to be around it, and they chastise you for being around it, right? Those people, I don't know what to do. Like, you're not going to make them happy.
I respect that they don't want to be around it.
I do.
Everybody's got different concepts, things that make them uncomfortable, the context of how they live, who they live with. I get all that.
I'm talking about it
chastising others.
strictly business sense. I'm looking at, because you probably did the same thing. You look at them in terms of like avatars for your business, right? You're like, there's this person, there's the person who's sensitive to it, that plans a lot about where they're going to be and how they're going to do it. And then there's people that are just, hey, we're just ready for in-person stuff. I'm gonna take the risk, whatever. And it's like, how do I get in front of each person? It's tricky to navigate.
And that to me is what's great about this talk show model, is that it gives everybody kind of what they're asking for. Now the whole chastising thing, I guess on the streaming ticket, you could point at the screen and yell at people if you want.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I totally do.
It's not just COVID though. I mean, you could insert any political thing and have the same type of person.
No. I totally get that. But I've had people, and I think the gym is an interesting kind of thing to put these two next to each other and kind of compare and contrast the gym versus a bureau community. But the other thing is that I did have somebody reach out to me and say, please God, don't stop in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though it said very much in the email that the plan was to do this smaller in person with a stream, they couldn't get past that first sentence, right? Because no, and I am in no way dogging them. They were just like so hyped up that it's got to happen, and so that, it's tough. And I know those of us disagree with me, but
well, probably. But I mean, there's those of us in the world that, like, we're not introverts, and I'm not knocking introverts, but like, I'm not an introvert. I get my energy from being around other people, from talking to people. I need those sorts of things. Like that like running the gym and coaching the classes feeds me, like socially and spiritually. So I mean, there are those people that exist, and then there are people that don't need that, don't want that, and they're not going to understand the pull for someone that wants that, and you got to straddle that line.
Yeah, and I'll say that, having worked with people that really were on that introvert side, and also had, phobias, right? There's a lot of things to be worried about now in terms of travel, in terms of attending with a group of people that you don't really know. Yeah. All that stuff is so real.
And you've just been validated. Every fear you've had is being validated.
Right. Yeah. All those people who would never touch a doorknob are now like, told you.
Yeah, I ain't touching it. Yep.
And then they're still waiting on somebody to open the door for them. But that's cool.
Yep.
No, they always have a handkerchief.
Yeah.
The handkerchief have the germs.
Or you got the one that's like your foot.
I don't know how it works.
Like in the Lowe's or in the hardware store, it's like your foot can open the bottom of the door.
Now I will say this. Okay. We may need to cut this out. Nah. But
you don't cut anything out of the show.
A public toilet. I gotta ask you this, Gene. Do you use your foot to lift the bottom lid?
I do.
I do too. I think we all do.
But that's got nothing to do with COVID.
No, that's just gross.
I've been doing that for 45 years.
Forever.
Like a walk. Yeah.
Right?
I ain't touching that.
Yeah. It's like, and here's the thing. I think of it as yoga. I'm like learning to balance.
A little bit.
I'm like doing a thing. I'm gonna also flush with my foot.
Oh yeah, especially a gas.
As long as it's not an eco-friendly toilet, because then you have to take your shoe off and you have to go around and you have to push it with your toe.
Yeah,
it's hard, just difficult.
Oh yeah.
People walk in, your pants are kind of around your ankles, and you're like been around like that. And
what are you doing?
Yeah, and I was like, you didn't get the text.
I'm helping the environment. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, see, that's the level of germ control I'm at, is like, I don't want to touch a toilet seat.
Mm-mm. That predates COVID though. We've been through
that. Yeah, we've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
But you're double vaxxed, right? Have you been?
Yes. Boosted? I haven't had the booster yet because I was going to, and I got goddamn COVID.
Yeah, right.
So I guess I will in a week or two. I don't know.
Well, that's it, right? And so for a lot of us who are double vaxxed, boosted, and got COVID, we're just like, all right, now what? Now what?
Am I invincible now?
Right? I don't know what to do now.
Now you can touch that toilet seat.
No,
No, I'm still not.
that's disgusting.
It is.
I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so I think this whole concept moving forward has just got to be careful, do things in a manner that people can participate how they feel most comfortable.
Yeah.
And if the community doesn't support it, then we just have to rethink it. And maybe those people who say you have to wait until the following year are right, because I mean, here's the other thing.
I mean, yeah, but
The membership that we've gotten now, that revenue that comes in from membership, which I mean, we are very frugal with it. That helps us make these decisions to try things like the streaming ticket.
yeah.
But if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean we're going to keep doing it.
Right.
So that'll be the challenge. And we only have venue contracts through April,
Mm-hmm.
I think. So,
well, hell, if it keeps going, you won't need a venue contract. Like, they'll just let you do whatever you want. They're probably already like that.
kind of. We'll put a toilet on stage.
Yes.
And we'll do the lid lifting Olympics. We'll everybody will have to come up, lift them, lower them without a big sound.
Yeah, you can't make a sound.
Noisy. And then flush on the eco-friendly toilet. And we'll see. You know what? Ninja Warriors, we've got a competition for you.
Coming for you.
That'll be good.
All right.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're heading. And
yep. Good luck.
It happens. Thanks, man.
What are you going to leave us with this week?
There's a lot. I'm going to do this. I'm going to thank. So I mentioned at the beginning of the episode that this is kind of the second week that I have not been at work. I don't think I've ever, even during the breaks and stuff, literally taken time off. And
yeah,
this is hardly time off because I'm having to
right,
change another human's entire way of living.
Yeah.
Right? So there's so much stuff and getting into financials and legal and all this kind of stuff with another human. So it's this is bizarre, but what I want to say is I want to thank Brett and I want to thank Lori. I want to thank the team at Metis. I want to thank the Bureau ambassadors. It's there was so much that I did that I just put on this big Google Doc. And people just came and said, I can do that. I can do that. I got that. I got that. And also Katie, who's a kind of a administrative assistant, I guess. That whole term and that concept is weird, but she's been helping go through my emails to make sure that I do get to things that are important or that things get routed to the right people. Having somebody in your email is really weird.
Yeah.
But I trust her implicitly. It's and the others. But one of the things that I think we all need to understand, I've never wanted to be important. I've always wanted to be valuable.
Okay.
I always wanted to contribute, but I didn't want to be the reason something couldn't happen. Only the reason something could. But if I wasn't there, that doesn't mean that it had to stop. And
right.
And that was a big fear of mine, was that a lot of what I did, even though it felt super repetitive, maybe even bordering, Lori said a lot of the stuff you were doing was mundane. And I looked it up and I think she was right. But Brett said something to me that was really powerful. He kind of told me it was okay not to be there. He gave me permission. Ooh. And I think for a lot of us that are leaders, we build these great teams and then we keep doing some of the stuff because we feel that it would almost be insulting to ask somebody to do this, But the ambassadors have taken over monthly roll calls. Wayne is now doing the welcome and the have a good week and welcoming new members and all this kind of stuff. And I just want to say thanks to everybody. It's allowed me to focus on my mom and my family. And it's been really transformative, I think is the word, because what I found was that as much as I loved the ego side of the Bureau was kind of my thing, it's moving on without me. I'm seeing the same level of conversation and engagement and all that. And so thanks to everybody at the Bureau too. I'm going to be back hopefully in 2 weeks and I'll have all this stuff figured out. Also, make sure your parents' credit cards aren't going late, kids, because they're going to jack up that rate to 26.9.
Damn, that's some
So,
good advice.
yeah. And then just never use those cards again and shame them in public as much as you can.
Yeah.
So, all right, Gene. So thank you, transformative, shame financial institutions. That's what I got for you.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Shame the financial. Nice. All right, man.
All right, Sunshine. I'll see you next week.
Yep.
All right. I'll be in Palm Springs, so it'll be an early one.
Ooh, I dig it.
All right, brother. Man. I'll talk to you. Bye.